I agree. But, you had to come in at some point.
There's always a way, whether it's a good way or not.
Right.
I mean, there are demons, so it might have something to do with that. Just saying.
Plenty of demons around this house. Anyway, we're live for session 24.
How long have we been live?
We've been live since towards the end of that whole conversation.
Oh, okay.
Great.
So should we start over again?
No.
Or, okay.
What do you mean there are demons around this house?
There are demons around this house. You know that.
You do realize that at night my hypnagogic hallucinations appear as demons, right?
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry. Just freaking me out a little bit.
Anywho's, so we...
They're the good Japanese demons.
John gets the dick sound to me.
Oh, so like kitsunes and Inuyasha.
Yeah.
I've been playing the shit out of EverQuest 2 as a female ogre berserker.
Ooh.
And I went with the alternate appearance, so she looks like an Oni.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Speaking of that Aru race that Heaven's Sword is coming out with, they're actually not dragon-based, they're demon-based.
Aww.
And they actually have been showing to have scales going down along their face and neck and so forth.
Nice.
But yeah, we left off with you all clearing out the farmstead and killing a whole bunch of redneck ogrekins.
Awesome.
You found their weapons and armor, and when you go back outside, you see the group's still waiting there, just chilling.
Can one of the, ogrekin's weapons descriptions be, if your wagon has a weapon rack on it, you might be an ogrekin.
Yes.
Awesome.
Fair dice.
But it's the 3 Black Arrows weapons that you're bringing with you.
Okay.
Unless somebody did drag out an ogre hook. Large size, 2-handed weapon. That it is.
Is that something Crunk would use, or is he too smart to use one of those?
This guy specified a great axe for him, so we're sticking with the great axe.
Alright, yeah, because we don't have to erase printer ink.
Yeah.
Put it into weapon.
Yeah.
So, hey, guys, we got your stuff for you.
Right.
It's, kind of grimy.
Well, it's not as bad as we thought it'd end up being. So, did you run into any trouble in there?
Well,
What'd you think was taking us so long?
Well, aside from one perception check that should have revealed a trap, I think we did pretty well.
And here we go.
I'm being a dick.
Yep.
Yeah. I should really stop.
But if you did, you wouldn't be you.
True.
So...
By the way, I keep looking over and you shaved your face.
I did.
It's so different.
Well, because I clipped off, I had this little tuft of beard hair and it was really bothering me, so I clipped it off, and it's that was covering a lot more of my face than I thought it was. So then I shaved the whole thing off, and then everyone said, oh, it was just a mustache, you look like Ron Jeremy. So I had to shave that off as well. Because, it must be flattering for him to be confused with me, but it's really annoying.
Okay, sorry. Tangent.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, Shay comes up to you, Stanton, and whispers to you, I've noticed that, the one they call Caven has one of those tattoos on his wrist. Just saying. And she continues walking as if she was just walking past you.
Do you share this information?
Hey! What'd she say to you? What did she whisper? What's the secret?
Leave it to the dragon.
Hey, who has to take a piss? All the PC players? Good. Let's go over here.
And The three black arrows are kind of just looking at each other, and Shay shrugs like, "I've only been with them for this long. I don't get their bathroom habits."
So Stanton shares that information with the group while Leary actually has to take a piss.
So, are we standing around a tree around Leary, who's taking a piss, and like watching her, or
you know how like when you're with your family and like no one ever keeps the door closed at the bathroom, everyone's just at a conversation while one of you's on the toilet.
Yeah.
It kind of goes like that.
Okay. I feel slightly uncomfortable with this. I'm not sure why.
Well, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable.
For the record, my family doesn't do that.
Well,
That's impressive. Oh. I don't have very good boundaries. I'll just leave it at that.
All right then.
trust me, there have been times when like my brother's in the bathroom, I'm watching TV, and we'll have entire conversations back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Hollering.
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Well,
What's he doing now? So, yeah, the group now knows
Where's
that...
the Mountain Dew?
So, yeah, the group now knows that Caven has a 7-pointed star tattooed on his wrist, thanks to Stanton.
Alright. So, as far as I'm concerned, until we have something a bit more solid to go on than tattoos, this is something we should investigate, but we also have more pressing matters, such as an entire fort that's been taken over by giants.
And you see Val hunched over a stump that you would use for splitting logs, and it looks like he's drawing something on a piece of parchment.
So is Val the one with the
The 2 axes.
tattoos?
No, the one with the tattoo is...
The pirate guy?
Yeah, the one with the 2
Aww.
swords.
He's cute.
Then you got Jack with the bow and arrow. He's the stepfather of Shay. Then you got Val with the 2 axes. He's the one who's been relatively quiet the entire time and is now scribbling something on a parchment.
Okay.
Oh, and the cougar belongs to Jack.
Okay.
Hey, what you writing?
Drawing.
She looks at it.
Well, let me pull it up then. Tell me it disappears. I'm going to click show to players.
Yep.
Woo!
That's what he... So when she's looking at it, he's like, just a picture of Fort Raddick from memory, at least the outside.
Cool.
And he finishes it and leaves it on there as he stands up for the rest of the group to see. And Jack walks over and is like, so, I'm guessing since you guys went through all this trouble to save us, would this mean that somebody finally noticed that Fort Raddick went silent?
Yes, but without regular communications, there's no way of knowing what actually went wrong.
True, we do tend to keep to ourselves. We didn't think it would take this long for someone to at least send a scout, but as long as some of us got saved.
So,
He looks a little depressed.
You need a beer.
I need a lot more than beer.
Rum?
For a start.
I mean, my door doesn't swing that way, so...
Neither does mine.
Oh, good.
Mary just kind of snaps
You
her
don't
fingers.
drink?
Yes, I don't drink.
How do you live?
With less headaches than you. So I'm assuming you want us to take the fort back.
It would be very helpful. Right now, it is probably overrun with ogres, who are, as we're speaking, are still attempting to band together and will eventually march on Turtleback Ferry, which is something that we are supposed to keep from happening.
That doesn't sound good. Why are they banding together? They don't usually do that, right?
That is the confusing part, yes.
So,
In fact, they shouldn't have been able to storm the fort at all unless somebody gave them information.
I'm looking at this map here. It looks like there's 2 bridges in. Is this a tunnel on the other side?
Alright, so let me go over to your screen because you can't ping that. What do you mean?
Is that...
Jack looks at Val and he says, "Explain your drawing though." And he's like, "Okay, here you go. You got the south entrance and you got the east entrance. Back here is a hill that goes up to Eagle's Nest. It's a bit of a climb up, but there's supposed to be a family of giant eagles who reside up there. They usually keep to themselves as well, but while we were coming up to the fort and noticed the attack happening, we also noticed that the eagles were attempting to help us in the attack, but we believe that they were all slaughtered as well. Now there is also a waterfall here, which should have a cave behind it 10 feet up. And then here is our sewage deposit. There's a little pond that empties into the moat. And it should be an open grate that one could be able to squeeze through.
How it should have ended. Just call the Eagles.
I agree. But if you're just going to call them anyways, just get them in first.
From there, you got the fort itself. You got the new barracks. You got the cookhouse. You got the watchtower. And then the stables.
Given your familiarity with ogres, how do you think they would organize themselves around this place?
And Jack steps forward and speaks of it. I've studied ogres a lot, since it is our job to fight them. And if there's one thing I can say about the general ogre, they're stupid, they're very quick to temper, and they mainly only think about eating and sleeping and killing. There will usually be 1, maybe 2 ogres who are considered the smartest of the group. They are the ones in charge. They are also most likely the father/brother of the entire group that he's in. The second in charge being his sister/wife. The only amount of organization that could come across those ogres is whatever amount of control he can maintain over them.
Do you think that they would camp in this common area in the middle here, or do you think that they would try to inhabit the actual fort?
I'm willing to bet anything they're inhabiting the fort. And maybe a bunch of them will be sleeping in the new barracks, which would be rather stupid of them, if you ask me.
Why would you say it's stupid?
And Val speaks up again. The barracks may be called the new barracks, but it's actually 20 years old. We call it new because after the first year it was built, it was never really used again. It was built without the help of an actual engineer who knew what he was doing. One small spark and it will go up in flames like tinder.
Theodora looks like filled with glee.
So if any of them are sleeping in there and for whatever reason one of them stupidly set a fire close enough to it, there would be no way of them surviving the fire.
Can we burn it down?
I agree with the dragon.
Yes.
Perhaps we should have done it.
So, are you Egyptian or Scottish?
He's Sean Connery in The Highlander.
Being an asshole.
Yes.
So, which one of these structures is the new barracks again? This one at the south.
That would only account for however many of them are currently inside what we do. Now, those barracks were built to house at least 20 men. Ogres are, of course, much taller and broader than the average human. So there's no telling however many of them trying to squeeze in there at night.
Kinky.
I have an idea. It's really stupid, but it just might work.
Are you gonna wag your tail at them again?
No, you are.
Me?
Head into the top of the new barracks.
Okay.
Get the attention of the ogres of the compound. Get
Okay.
them to follow you in there. Once you're in, Lucy can then roll a fireball at the old barracks. If they're tightly bunched in there, we should be able to take out at least 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
There is one thing I know. You would not build a fort without some way out in case of an emergency.
Isn't that what the path up the hill is?
Well, I guess that only leads to the Eagle Nest. It's pretty much a small plateau near the peak of the mountain that we rest against.
They also have the east.
The obvious ways in.
Yeah.
The fort was built up against the back of the mountain, so we would never have to worry about attacks on 2 fronts. Hence the reason there are 2 gated entrances in and out. Everything else would pretty much just lead you up the mountain. And the whole time that everyone else is talking, Craven is just staying silent towards the back.
Craven is the father, stepfather?
No, he's the one with the 2 swords.
Okay.
Is there any other way up the plateau?
Unless anybody can fly.
I can.
Or take a nice long journey around and over the mountain.
Hey, guess what?
We could take a long journey around the mountain.
I can fly.
I was hoping to try play an old prehistoric tactic. Just get boulders up along the side and just drop them.
Is there no back way out of the fort that we could use to get back in?
Unfortunately, no. The fort is supposed to be heavily fortified so that there was never in need of a back way out in terms of retreat. For the longest time, this fort stood relatively well against the usual attacks of ogres. But when these ogres attacked, they were well informed of the defenses and apparent weaknesses in the fort structure.
So if we burnt down the bridges, won't they just starve to death?
I'm pretty sure that they can easily cross a 10-foot deep moat.
Oh, it's only 10 feet deep.
Yes.
There wouldn't happen to be any piranha in the area, would there?
No, of course not. Now Val speaks up again and says, there are also secret tunnels that lead beneath the fort.
What the fuck do you think I've been asking?
Did you say that?
immediately drops the weapon and it says, "What the fuck do you think I'm gonna ask me?"
High five.
Okay, I'm going to give you one for that. First off, they haven't really been used in decades, and they are filled to the brim with shocker lizards.
Leary laughs.
You mean like me?
She holds up the hand symbol. Whatever it is. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
No, Druid, Lucy can make a knowledge nature check if she wants.
Theodora! Where did you learn that?
The bar.
7 plus 13.
Yeah, you know that they pretty much look like iguanas, but they're able to charge and release electricity.
Oh.
So shocker lizards, as in they can kill you with electricity.
So like electric eels, only
Yeah.
they're lizards.
So yeah, during the mating season, they get very aggressive, and the first year the fort was built, I have such mature players.
Let me guess, now is the mating season.
Roll 3d6. So
Do I have 3d6 in this? I don't think I have
Here.
3d6 in this bag. Oh, that works. Thank
the
you.
first year the fort was built, they had a little issue where a bunch of the lizards would come out into the common areas and it was messy.
1 up.
What? Alright, so yes, it is the mating season.
Yes.
What our people would end up doing is, during the mating season, we would light bunches of bitter bark near the entrances to those tunnels. It would keep them inside because they apparently hated the smell of bitter bark so much they would never come out of the tunnels that led into the fort.
Is bitter bark easily acquired?
No rule necessary. Lucy knows that she could acquire some with at least a day of tracking around the area.
I think I've seen some around. Might take a bit to collect.
And Craven again is just staying silent during the whole thing, but is listening.
Do y'all feel like he's saying something too?
So what do you think,
Huh?
Twinkle Toes?
Oh, whatever you all decide. I'm just a lowly soldier.
You at least have been inside, right?
Well, we all have.
We haven't.
But during the day of the attack, we were actually out on patrol, and while we were coming back, the ogres had already breached the wall.
Well, lucky you.
And Jack is like, yes, and we would have been back sooner.
Had it not been for those meddling kids.
Yeah. We would have been back on time if we hadn't kept getting delayed.
Delayed?
Delayed.
Did someone have the shits? What's...
Actually, yes. And they all kind of glance at Craven. He was apparently sick that day.
Well, lucky you.
Wait, so you literally shit yourself to survival?
What can I say? I had the runs.
I'm just glad I got to say that.
I bet you are. I do not need a piece of chocolate melting in this book.
There we go.
So, you know what happened to everyone else?
Well, gee, Jack is talking. I'm sure I'm sure by now
water.
that
Actually, yeah, Coke.
I'm
It's
sure
not cold.
That's fine.
I'm sure by now they're all ogre food.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this is a lot of chocolate to eat without anything to drink.
Sorry.
Yeah. Fuck it. So, how exactly did the ogres break in? Did they just kind of storm the gates, or?
We were not there to witness the initial attack, only that they were already in the walls and killing everybody.
There must have been some evidence.
Like I said, the only way ogres could have breached our defenses is if somebody gave them information.
So there is a traitor within the Black Arrows.
We've been thinking about that, yes, since we've been in prison.
Who do you think it is? Or was?
Could have been anybody. Our commander was gone on his usual communal walks that he takes every month for about 3 to 4 days. The three of us were on patrol with the rest of our group who perished to the people of this farmstead. So, yeah,
Is your commander still alive?
that part we do not know. If he is, he's probably still on his walks. Maybe on his way back, maybe not. I do not know.
The ogres probably wouldn't be smart enough to have patrols out, would they?
I'm actually willing to believe no. They'll have patrols inside the fort walls, but I'm sure they won't bother stepping out.
And from what you saw of the ogres, did any of them have any sort of ranged weaponry, or were they all just wielding
Oh,
clubs?
some of them will carry javelins, but many of them come with their ogre hooks.
I'm thinking that if we can just get them at the gate here, we should just be able to bottleneck them and fight them one at a time.
Perhaps we should see the fort before we make any decisions.
And by the way, he would mention that his walks take him to White Willow.
Oh, so we kind of know where he's going and coming from.
Pretty much.
We could maybe try to track him down. I mean, one more person to fight, right?
To be honest, White Willow is a bit out of the way. I would rather attempt to take the fort first, and then worry about our commander.
So if we're going to go through all that effort, we should come back with a battalion, not just one man.
We do, aside from the lead ogre, the others will be entirely unexpecting of any form of retaliation. We do have the element of surprise on them. We just have to figure out what we intend to do with it. And Shay states, I vote we at least look the place out to see what we're dealing with first.
Alright.
I like that idea. I can scout out nice taunting places.
The dragon is rather small, and aside from being a pseudo-dragon, wouldn't stand out that much in their eyes.
You saying I'm not intimidating enough?
I'm saying that you relative to them in terms of size, they wouldn't really bother being on the lookout for so small a creature. And any that catch you would just think of you as a toothpick.
Still don't know if I should make this hockey puck or a golf club.
Speaking of which, I've been meaning to ask, how big is Theodora? Is she like
House cat.
this
House cat?
house cat size? Okay. Because I've been like this last week. I really don't know how large she is. So.
Yeah. I think she's house cat size. I think that's the size of a pseudo dragon.
Okay.
So maybe a fat house cat.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Fat house cats are cute.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was
She would have gained the advantages of having the eagle stat block for animal companions, but the bestiary's pseudo dragon is tiny sized. So
Oh, so like,
so a house cat.
yeah.
okay, so house cat. Not tinier than a house cat, but a house cat. Okay.
One says upon reaching adulthood, pseudo dragon's body is about 1 foot long with a 2-foot tail and weighs about 7 pounds. So yeah, relatively house cat.
I have a friend who had a cat that was so big it would literally ooze its way downstairs.
I don't know if that's cute or sad.
It was kind of gross looking, actually.
Okay.
But it literally wouldn't walk. It would just ride its fat down the stairs.
Oh dear. That poor thing. Those poor stairs.
So we travel to the fort.
Alright, traveling to the fort. I already gathered everybody together and I just got to change the page. Now, this is going to be a rather large map because,
It's a fort.
yeah, well, it's like, it's satted out like that, but unlike every other battle map, 1 square is 20 feet of movement instead of 1 square being 5.
Holy
So
moly.
this map is going to be pretty big. I had to stretch it out to try to make it as much like that as possible. So I'm going to put you all down here towards the lower right corner.
Well, no, that doesn't work. Of course not. Okay. Go to 50%. Now I can see. Awesome.
Alright, so you arrive close to the fort. You see it nestled up against the mountainside. You have the moat running along it.
Time of day.
About close to evening, considering that time you all spent at the farmhouse. And you all happen to notice, let's see. 1, 2, 3. When you're all scouting about from afar, you're able to count at least 5 ogres outside in the common area. 4 of them being close to that south entrance and 1 being up near the east entrance.
Are they on the walls?
No, they're actually walking about.
Like on that path between on the between the entrances, below the walls.
Oh, that's right. I got dynamic lighting set up.
See, I was thinking, it's, like when you see like the top of someone's head on the other side of a bathroom stall. It's like they can't see you, but you can see them, sort of deal.
Yeah.
So, seeing a bunch of ogres walk around the giant bathroom.
So
They wouldn't be that tall.
That would be pretty damn
How tall's the wall?
Maybe they're like carrying little things, like they're carrying little spears that have like flags on them.
15
Say, hey, I'm an ogre.
15 feet
So-
high.
Yeah, they wouldn't be that tall.
Yeah, I guess I should ask, were you all going to try to find a hill somewhere to be able to see over the walls or just hiding out in the woods? But
Can we climb a tree?
Can Theodora fly over
Yeah.
without being noticed? Okay, she's gonna do that.
Well done. And she casts invisibility on her.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so Theodora's token's now inside the wall, so...
Because she was gonna act like a bird.
So, Chapin,
See what
you're
Silken
able to
sees
see
right
inside the wall now.
Woo! Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the whatever the bottom way. There's 1 at the top.
And then the rest
Bridge.
is the fort itself,
Okay.
which you wouldn't be able to see in since it's all stone.
And then I can't see anything. Wow. Okay.
So Theodora comes back and relays that.
Yep. She draws a picture in the dirt. And the ogres are little penises.
She would have seen that the one at the west entrance looks like he's polishing a skull, so he's hardly paying attention at all. Meanwhile, the 4 down at the south entrance are being very alert because of the one standing behind them. She would have also seen on her way towards it that the southern entrance is left clear and open. The west entrance, however, is barred up from the inside.
So the top entrance is barred up, and the bottom entrance is open. Okay.
And the hill that would have led up to the eagle's nest has rubble and debris blocking it off.
Oh, nice.
Where is the entrance to these caves?
The entrance to the caves is unfortunately within the walls. However, there is a cave 10 feet up the waterfall on the outside. If we were able to scamper up there without being seen and go in, we would be able to get to the tunnels from there.
So, whose climb skills high enough? Or swim skills?
Theodora's. Not the swim, but the climb. Oh, and when she lands, Theodora curls around the Twinkle Toes' neck.
Cavens.
Yeah. Resting.
She feels that he's a little tense.
She starts kneading with her claws.
He's just like,
I'm helping.
Is there more than one entrance from the caves to the fort?
from the inside of the cave. The inside of the caves, if I remember properly, and this is Vale talking again, would actually drop you off into our dungeon area. And from there is only one staircase leading back up into the fort.
Would we have to fight a dragon?
No.
He gets it.
This is Pathfinder, no.
There are dragons later.
Pathfinder is like Dungeons and Dragons' cousin.
Well, that was a joke, because it's not Dungeons and Dragons.
I know, but I mean, it's essentially...
We have to find paths, not go into dungeons.
We already found a bunch of paths. We've been finding paths this whole damn time.
That's why it's called Pathfinder.
I don't see what you're all getting at. It's like living in a world of darkness. Wild talents. Anywho, so who?
Is going to jump on the walls and start dancing as a distraction.
How do?
He does have performed dance, by the way.
Oh, nice.
How do we get to the caves behind the waterfall? Do we just go up there? Is it a pretty easy path, or?
Once you climb up the waterfall, yeah. You just
Yeah.
Walk right on in.
Well, yeah, but it's that whole climbing thing that can be a bit of an issue for some of us.
And the whole water thing.
Is it behind the waterfall, or will we
Yes.
be fighting the waterfall to get up?
You would have to climb up the waterfall 10 feet, and then there's a cave mouth.
Yeah,
With
not
the-
happening.
Would the water be coming down on top of us as we climb?
Unfortunately, so.
So does that mean
Not happening.
does that mean we can use a swim check instead?
Swim up a waterfall?
Minecraft.
I don't think so, Tim. Okay, okay. Cave-in is going to be like, the waterfall's not really that strong. It's relatively an easy climb. He explains it to where it's only a DC 10 climb to climb up the waterfall.
But it's wet.
So I just have to make an 11 or better. Actually, I can do that, can't I?
How
well,
about...
considering Crunk has an 11,
I mean, like, couldn't the whole party go through the caves?
yes.
Okay.
How about I stay out here where it's dry?
Crunk says, I climb, I throw rope down, you climb rope.
It's wet.
Leary starts laughing.
Larry's cat is even laughing.
Really does tilt his head like he doesn't understand.
So, and Jack points out, yeah, getting into the fort secretly is going to be one thing, but then we'll be inside a fort with however many ogres still inside. Would we really want to corner ourselves like that?
Yeah, I think it'd be so much better to use fire.
Then perhaps we should formulate many plans and decide on which one we believe to be the most efficient.
There's the one where
And
Theodora...
Caven's like, yeah, I'm with this guy.
Well, there's the plan where Theodora flies into or above the barracks, draws the ogres in, and we set it on fire. We won't get all of them, but it'll be a plan starter. From there, we could just go with a standard assault at the gates up here, try to bottleneck them. The other plan is for us to go through the caves and hit them in the back where they least expect it.
Perhaps we could also taunt them out into an ambush.
But if we taunted them out, wouldn't we still want to fight them somewhere where we would only have to deal with one at a time?
But drawing them out would separate some from the main group.
If we fight close to the fort, we also risk being fired upon from above.
Hey, you guys are rangers, right?
Yes,
So like you're good at like hiding and shit,
very much so.
and like you guys have at least like one ranged weapon each, right? Like you just don't have two swords. You have like something you can fight at a distance with.
Combo and... Yes.
Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. We all stay in the back. What happens is Theodora flies up and gets them pissed at her. It's Theodora, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah!
She then flies away, drawing them into this forested area out here, where we fight them as a group, and you guys take pot shots from the forests.
They all kind of nod.
How difficult would it be to light the new barracks on fire?
Vale points out, not very. As long as you light the fire beneath it, since the wood above would be kind of soaked with rainwater. Beneath it or inside it.
Then perhaps I should stay by the gate, where they cannot see me, and as soon as they rush out, I can light the new barracks and then join you afterwards.
So, Menendez.
So what Menendez would do
I do
is
have a.
cast invisibility. Got one more of those. Hide by the gate. Basically, walk up to the gate, hide by it, wait till they come out, step around, light it on fire, and then come back down.
Alright.
I do have a fireball. I could just drop it.
She came in like a fireball.
Well, so does he, but he also has cantrips. And Spark happens to be one of those.
Oh, very nice. That works.
And Jack says, I should also point out that with it getting close to dark, that's going to actually give them the advantage sight-wise.
So maybe we should wait until morning. I can prepare a snare spell and entangle and.
I believe that would be prudent.
And
Perhaps we
Shades,
could also find some of this bark that we could potentially use.
and Shay says, if you cast entanglement while they're in the woods, they'll be rooted down, and therefore actually incapable of moving.
Alright. Oh, are we okay?
Yep. I'm fine.
Okay. Please don't die. That makes me feel bad.
So Caven's like, so we're planning on doing this in the morning or whatever.
Right.
I see.
Or, whenever we wake up.
True.
Yeah, I'm not really much of a morning person, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I end up waking up at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I wake up to Price is Right.
I like how I think it was Jim Gaffigan who put it, there needs to be a point of, they need to extend daylight savings time like 6 hours, so those of us who wake up at noon don't feel like lazy assholes. Like, oh, it's such a beautiful morning. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I logged on to Facebook real quick, because you haven't, probably, you won't care, but you haven't seen a picture of baby yet, have you?
Maybe.
So I logged on to pull up that picture just so she could see her real quick. And as I'm doing this, I just joined a group for playing a different Pathfinder AP through Facebook, and the guy just changed his mind and decided we're playing a different one. Hadn't said what. Yeah, he just said he just posted the first message, Swallowtail Festival. Okay, I'm leaving this group.
What's the Swallowtail Fest?
We're
That's the
playing Rise of
beginning.
the Runelords now.
Oh.
I'll pass, thanks.
Playing
Okay,
an
so,
adventure path in one group is enough.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't need to play the same adventure path in two groups at the same time.
Okay, so I'm assuming there's like some fireside banter.
If you want to be, yeah.
Theodora
Alright,
goes through the woods and
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong
Lucy
person.
go through the woods and look at different places to set up snares and entangles and
Step back into the woods. Find an area to set up the camp. Menendez steps up, places a bead on the ground, and says, Swahuna Kalilin. And a campfire comes up.
That was awesome.
You just made all the rangers feel inadequate. They spend their lives learning how to live off nothing but the land, and here you are, some city-born asshole just throwing down a stone.
And turning it into a campfire.
Yeah. So
It's a campfire bead. Swarfuna Kalilin is Arabic for fire.
So Lucy is wandering around the woods herself, close to camp.
With Theodora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leary,
Ronkinto, I'm sure.
And Krunk. Yeah.
Krunk stays on her, like,
Yeah.
just stays attached to her hip like a 5-year-old to his mother.
you just made that relationship.
Yeah,
really-
yeah, you did.
I couldn't think of anything fast enough.
Flies
I-
to honey.
Yeah.
Flies to shit.
Like a guy who had sex with a woman and she stuck around.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
No, he's the one smitten with her.
I'm
That's the whole idea.
She hasn't made him leave yet. And there might be a listen check required.
Her vagina holds a certain pull.
Lucy's going to break poor Krunk's heart.
What? Why?
You said yet, as in there will come a time where she will.
It's always a woman's prerogative to make a man leave her alone. Just saying.
So what's everybody else doing at the campfire that Menendez so graciously...
Leary's actually going up to Craven and saying, "Hey, that's a pretty interesting tattoo there. Where'd you get it?"
He's like, I'm sorry, what? And he is like trying to hide it behind his sleeve.
No, I think it's pretty cool. Kind of weird Cthulhian mythos thingamajig going on.
And he's like, I've had this for years. To remind me how much I love gazing at the stars.
Oh, are you a sailor?
No. I live in a fort in the middle of the woods. We see the stars pretty easily.
Well, I mean, like, were you a sailor beforehand, using stars for navigation and whatnot?
No, not necessarily. I once lived in a city. Riddleport.
Is that where you got that?
Why, yes, actually.
Menendez is sitting apart from the group, entertaining himself by catching the sounds down, tossing it back up, catching one, tossing it back up, catching it, tossing it back up.
Alright.
Would you be able to tell me where I'd be able to get one of those?
Just went to some random tattoo artist and said, "Give me a star."
Oh, I mean,
I don't know why he made the lines interconnected, but star's a star.
I haven't exactly been averse to getting cut myself, so I just haven't exactly seen that design around.
Just something I wanted.
At some point, Lucy and Krunk come back. Possibly hair disheveled.
Disheveled?
Disheveled, yes, thank you.
Leary can make sense motive checks if she wants.
Leary?
Leary making sense
Leary?
motive checks on which group of people?
Yeah, is Lucy gonna have to roll a bluff or something?
No.
Punk's got a negative charisma score. I have a feeling it would come out.
Can Stanton roll a sense motive as well?
If he was nearby and listening.
Okay, I'm assuming that campfire banter, they're close enough to...
And Krunk would just be like, "We watching submarine races."
Alright, that was Leary's roll. No, I'm spending a fate point on that.
No.
Okay, that was Leary's roll. She got a 20.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
And Stanton... So let's see, Leary with a 20, that comes to 22. Stanton with a 6, that comes to 20.
They both know that he's kind of lying through his teeth.
I mean,
About that whole
I figured that much was obvious.
hellish chuckle, and he's sitting there looking at his sword.
Like
that one alright.
Oh, we can never tell.
Theodora curls around his neck again, snuggling in and kneading.
Someone get the dragon off me.
Aw, she likes you. I mean,
I'm helping.
she really doesn't like that many people, but she likes you.
So let me rephrase it. Leary and Sin know that he's lying through his teeth about the origin of his tattoo. They also know that he's being a little tense and withdrawn about while she's questioning him.
Okay.
I realize that the dragon is cute and all, but seriously, the claws kind of hurt.
It's called acupuncture.
Never did like acupuncture.
If you lay out, I can do your back better.
That's quite alright, I prefer to be sitting.
Saying acupuncture is good for his nuts.
By the way, if I failed to mention, that's his sword.
Ooh, pretty.
Are they like telling knock-knock jokes back and forth?
Remember, his sword has a great sense of humor. But they communicate telepathically, and he's a loner, so he's not used to sharing with people, so he hasn't shared with you that his sword can talk to him yet.
Tell me this sword sounds like Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Sure.
Knock knock, who's there? Me, I kill you. You get it? I'm a sword, I kill you!
God damn it, Coleman.
Thank you, I'll be here all night.
Yes.
I'm done.
No, you're not. You're going to try the best set at one point.
Yeah, I know. I should just let it stop.
Any more fireside banter?
That was worth the extra effort.
Shay and Jack are off to the side talking as daughter and stepfather trying to catch up on things.
Dockisham?
She really wants us to eat all this chocolate.
Yes.
She wants it gone from this house.
Yes. If you eat it, that means I'm not eating it. Which is healthier for me.
Can we just give the chocolate to the ogres? Say, hey, buddy, here's some chocolate. Please leave the fort. They'll be like, okay.
I don't think so, Tim.
Has anyone ever tried it?
So does I can't do his name. Twinkle Toes. Does he ever try to sneak off at any point?
Well, how's everybody sleeping?
Theodora is sleeping
They're
around
not.
his neck.
Theodore's
Lucy is sleeping very soundly, very happily, very relaxed.
Stanton is all nice and bundled up in his sleeping bag, all nice and cozy. Leary is half naked and sprawled out all over the place.
The sword never sleeps.
Leary's cat decides to use your stomach as a pillow. And he has to do the whole...
I'm assuming that both Leary and the cat are using his stomach as a pillow.
Yeah. Only the cat's more annoying about it.
Yeah.
And now you cannot move or else it growls at you. Like, I'm trying to sleep. Hold still. Slice your throat out.
Theodora does something very similar to Twinkle Toes.
So, and one of the Jack and Shay are both keeping watch, keeping the first watch at least, mainly towards the direction of the fort. So, if anyone wants, they can make perception checks. Sleeping, I think, wouldn't do what a -4 sound would.
There's... Right above the phone.
8 plus 5 for Theodora, and she's not actually sleeping. She's just acting like it.
There it is.
I'm assuming that Stanton and Leary would take the last watch so that they can make a crappy breakfast.
Yeah.
Give me just a second.
Unless someone reminds her, Lucy completely forgets about taking watch.
So this is for Stanton. 8 plus 15, so that's 23. For Leary, 5. Yeah, she's not paying attention. She's making eggs.
Yeah, she's making eggs. Sorry.
The only thing I come
Like
up with
poached
is...
eggs. Like,
Well, the funny thing is that the eggs are already made. They're just like released and become fertile during ovulation. Not.
I was just referring to making breakfast. I mean, going on about
Biology?
ovulations.
Ovulation.
I-
Ovulation!
I know what it is, but it's humor by being an intelligent person intentionally pronouncing it wrong to play the role of an idiot.
But-
Play it well.
I thank you. This guy gets it.
Okay.
Just a second. Sorry.
Quit playing with yourself, Joe.
Yeah, my phone vibrated. Ugh.
Jesus Christ, 4 people in the room.
Okay.
My dice are in Alex's car. That's where they are. Okay. Well, that's fine. I have other dice. It's
Okay.
just my copper
He
dice.
just wanted you to play with his bag.
I think he has someone else for that at home.
Wrong timing.
Sorry.
We just got a spit take, everyone!
Sorry.
No, that was completely not related to that. That was just me being incredibly clumsy. It was just perfect timing for it.
Yes.
I somehow did not get Shay's token when I did the whole copy.
No, it's over.
Thank
It's
you.
over here. I just put it over in the forested area.
Oh, okay.
I definitely missed my...
Yeah, I can move it. I'm moving it right over
Okay.
here next to Crunk.
So,
See,
Okay.
I just moved her over here.
what's that? So, Menendez the 27th has a 25 to perception.
Okay. And what was everybody else's again? I'm sorry.
Leary's was a 5, but Stanton's was 23.
Theodore's was an 8 plus a 5. And she is around the guy's neck. Pretending to sleep.
Well, let me go ahead and mention this. The dude rolled a 34.
Jesus,
stealth
titty
check.
fucking Christ!
He disappears out from
Under.
under Theodora.
So,
wow.
when Jack and Shay come back to wake up whoever is, well, when Jack does, because Shay can stay up all night now. When Jack comes back to wake up the next person to keep watch with her, he's looking at the camp and he's like, and first you hear him talking to Vale, and then they come over and they wake Stanton up first, like, we have a problem.
Hey, I told Leary she should go to the bathroom on the western tree.
Not that kind of problem. Caven is gone.
Oh, you mean the guy with the tattoo?
You noticed that too.
I mean,
Menendez says, perhaps we have our traitor.
They both look at each other and is like, son of a goddamn much. Well, if you all excuse us, we have a traitor to deal with.
Well,
We gotta find his
to
ass
play
first.
the role of the judge, how do you know he's a traitor and not just a deserter? Some people may just not want to be here.
Let me put it this way. Traitor or deserter, we still have our ways of dealing with such things. If he's going to decide to run off just because he doesn't feel like our way of life is worth fighting for anymore, we're still going to cut his head off. And if it turns out that he was a traitor, we are most definitely cutting his head off.
So wait, you're gonna cut the head off of a kid who's scared out of his mind?
We have our ways, cleric.
And I have mine.
We run things our own way inside that fort.
We're not in your fort. If anything, we're here to take back that fort that you couldn't hold on to.
You mind repeating that?
At some point, is Shay gonna step in?
Upon hearing that, she's like, no, just don't, not now. Last thing we need is fighting amongst ourselves.
So when does Theodore wake up?
When does Theodore wake up?
When she smells the bacon.
When she
burning.
smells the bacon, yeah.
Bacon, I'm awake. Food,
Leary's like, who wants a bacon strip?
I want a bacon strip. I want a bacon strip. Give me bacon strip.
She bounces it on your nose.
I'm balancing. I'm being good. Can I have it now?
Go get it, girl. Gah.
Either way, he ran off on us after we have already put together a plan to take back the fort. Which tells me that for whatever reason he did not want to be involved with anything that deserves at least questioning him.
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I am saying is that that first priority, let's take back the fort. After that, we try to find him, not kill him.
Make a diplomacy roll.
Says, I shall return shortly.
Make a
and steps off
diplomacy
into the
roll,
woods.
Stan.
Leary's like, he chose a bad time to take a piss. Are you Oh my god, she was right.
No, continue.
Stanton, make a diplomacy roll.
That's 26.
He sighs and he's like, very well. We'll put the fort first. And then...
O Anubis, mighty Anubis, Menides the 27th has entered the gates to your realm, and we ask that you leave him worthy. His spirit is a brave one, and his soul is an honorable one. O Anubis, mighty Anubis, as you take his treasure and weigh it on that stand, know that he was loved by many, and will be remembered by all should his fate come to an end today. Anubis, welcome Minister the 27th into your presence, if today is his day, and deem him worthy of deference, that he may walk through your realm, and be under your protection for all eternity. O Anubis, mighty Anubis, watch over Menides the 27th.
I think someone's worshipping right now.
So when Menendez comes back, he just sees everybody looking in his direction.
Leary's like, that's the oddest climax I've ever heard.
I'm giving one to you for all that, and then I'm giving one to Will for that. I swear to God, I want to hear Wolf. It's always said that we can't hear Wolf's reaction as he's listening to this. listens to stuff like this as he's going to sleep. So I can only imagine him going, because his wife is right there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, since I hadn't mentioned it, Menendez is Osirian, which are the ancient Egyptians of Galorian, and the Egyptian pantheon is legal in Pathfinder RPG.
Alrighty then.
Clearly, he is a follower of Anubis.
So Jack says, "Who is this Anubis that you are praying so hard to back there?"
Anubis is my god.
Alright then, I was afraid you were talking to yourself or something.
Menendez tilts his head, gives him a quizzical look, and just walks away.
And Jack looks at Stanton, and looks at Shay, and Shay just goes, "I barely know these people. The only other time I've been with them, he wasn't even around. It was some alchemist."
Oh, the first time she met me, she was trying to kill me. That Leary says that.
Yeah, there was that too. Oh no, wait, you weren't there when Shay first met the party.
No,
Never mind.
I came in as they were offing the ASMR.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't come in then. You came in shortly after the ogre house.
He's speaking in terms
Corbin.
of Menendez. He's trying to stay in
I'm
character.
trying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah.
Did I mention that I'm sometimes a dick? I think I mentioned it at some point.
Yes.
You mentioned it so much, I'm thinking of changing your name on the video from Will to Dick.
That would confuse people.
Human cleric Stanton / Dick instead of Will.
No, I think they'd understand if they listened.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Lowercase.
Alright, so,
Alright, so if we're going to do this, we have the sun. Let's see. We're supposed to be facing north. We're supposed to be facing north when looking at the fort. So we have the sun rising over that east wall. Many of the
I don't remember the rest.
I do, but I'm not going to say it.
Because you're not cool like us?
Because I've been in the musical and don't care to sing the whole song for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand.
The sun is starting to rise. We're all relatively awake
I played
now.
a Jew.
I played a man playing a woman.
I've done that.
It's pretty awesome.
I've played a witch before.
Nice.
So we're attacking the fort.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a Jew, a man dressed as a woman, and a witch attack a fort.
Surprisingly enough, there are witches in Pathfinder.
Are there men dressed as women?
Yes.
You could be one.
There's one that shows up frequently in Pathfinder Society.
As an NPC or a player character?
NPC.
Okay.
Oh, I thought like an
Oh.
actual player character was.
I have played with the guy who played his character as a cross-dresser. Yeah.
I've done that.
Made for some interesting bluff and disguise checks.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing this shit.
Yes.
All right.
So Theodore.
Menendez pulls out the Sword of Menendez. Menendez the 27th casts invisibility on himself and approaches the gate. Once he gets to the gate, he uses Mage Hand to pick up a dirt. Here's your signal. Pick up some dirt and just toss it to let you know that he's there.
Okay. Theodora takes off into the towards the gate. Does she still see the guys there? Yeah.
Yeah. She'll recognize the leader, and she'll recognize the one who's pretty much admiring a polished skull now. The other four,
We've been doing same thing for 2 days now.
the other four look like they're kind of different, but that all depends on if Theodora views all ogres as ogres or not.
She proceeds to taunt them, throwing dirt in their faces, veering very close to them and going off and waggling her tail, yeah, saying, "Orcs are stinky and stupid."
Ogres.
Okay, let me do some explanations here.
There's no difference between orcs and ogres.
Talons of lightning claw at the sky, casting pale light on the mountainside below. The lightning storm reveals a grim fortress of dark gray stone, standing sentinel over the valley, huddled desperately at the base of two sheer cliff sides. Crumbling 15-foot-high walls ring the citadel, where stone pitted and crated from hurled boulders and ogre hooks. The stone pitted, yeah. Like the face of a veteran with decades of winter built under his belt, the fort's craters, cracks, and scars are testaments to its battle-weary history. A stone keep, a stubborn shadow against the mountainside, rises from behind the worn walls, a single tower jutting up from its ramparts like an ugly broken tooth. Nearby, a rushing curtain of white water cascades down the mountainside into a large pool that juts outside. At the east gate is a 20-foot-tall gatehouse surrounding two battered double doors that look as if they are barely hanging on their hinges. Then there's a large wooden stable sitting against the cliffside. Its structure's southern facet is open, revealing an empty stable. Then you got an old guard post that is falling apart. Most of the mortar has cracked or slogged away, leaving stone to grind on stone. The structure itself is nearly 30 feet high. And then the wood barracks is a wooden building seeming to have been abandoned for some time. It's in fairly poor repair and seems almost to lean against the cliff wall behind it for support. A short flight of wooden steps leads up to a single door, the building itself sitting on raised timbers over the uneven, sloping ground below, excess lumber stored underneath it. So yeah, death trap. So, Theodora is taunting the ogres. So, they all look up, see the little thing flying, they're like, "What's that? Can we eat it?"
Yeah.
And the lead ogre is like, after getting sand in his eyes, is like, kill it and bring it down!" So they're all pretty much trying to jump up and grab at her.
Could I get my box of D6 back?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Does she have to roll anything to evade?
Not necessarily, no, as long as she's staying out of their reach. They're just jumping.
Yeah. She's antagonizing them and throwing stuff in their face, and goes up to the one up there, looking at his skull, and bothers him.
So he puts the skull in his pouch and is also trying to chase after her back. And
I guess it takes a bonehead to know a bonehead.
so they're all chasing her back and forth across this common area, all jumping and trying to get her. And the lead orc,
Lead orc.
the lead ogre, the lead ogre looks like he's missing his bottom jaw, and instead has fox furs sewn against his cheeks to try to resemble a bottom jaw. So he's slurring out orders since he has no complete mouth to talk with. So if any of you have ever seen Army of Darkness and know the evil Ash, how his jaw would keep breaking off mid-order. Yeah.
Tally 4! Tally 4! Tally 4.
He's pretty much doing that.
Hey, give me some sugar, baby.
He's like,
Cut that thing down! Cut it down!
one of them decides to actually pick up his javelin and try to fling it at her, so
Oh.
it just critted.
Oh.
Do you want to fate point that away?
Yeah, I'm gonna fate that point. Yeah.
Fate that point away.
Yeah. No, he didn't crit.
No, he didn't crit.
He crit failed. Maybe.
Pretty much, he only got a 13.
Yeah, no.
So,
Miss me!
so where is she trying? So does she just keep making him run back and forth?
She makes them run back and forth a few times more, and then sits on top of the new barracks and waggles her tail at them.
So they're all standing around the barracks, just being like, "Somebody climb up there and get it! No, you climb up and get it! You climb up and get it!" So they're very, very close to it.
Oh, she's supposed to fly out.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she flies out.
Is she going
Like,
to try
if any of them start to climb up, as soon as they start to climb up, she then flies out.
The leader one just smacks them all on the head and be like, "Let's just all climb up and get it!"
Hey. Think what I'm thinking?
It depends. Do they actually climb up to get it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
then she stays there.
They all scale the walls of the new barracks.
When it does looks through and it's about to cast spark, and then notices all of them on it.
Can I move Metadays into the thingamajig?
Well, there's actually an iron gate still shutting him off from it, but
He can see through the gate.
yeah.
So he steps up. He's about to cast spark. He sees all of the ogres climbing it, grins, instead puts his hand through with his ring, facing it, and a fireball shoots out of it.
So it goes immediately up in the flames, and you all hear the agonizing screams of multiple ogres burning alive.
Oh shit!
And he casts invisibility on himself and walks back.
Theodore flies up and is like, whoa! Yeah.
You guys killed in all 17 ogres with that blast. Because 12 of them have stuffed themselves in that barrel.
It's so beautiful! Shit!
And pass on the Jake.
Yeah. Here you go.
Thank you!
And
Jesus, titty.
when
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna trade
happens,
Thank you.
as that happens, you see 3 more ogres come into view. First I'm going to move them, and then I'm going to change their layer. 3 more ogres come into view that Theodore sees. 1 comes out of the cookhouse, and 2 more come out of the guardhouse near the top of the map. And they're all just standing there staring at this fire like, "What happened? I don't know."
Theodora takes the opportunity,
So that,
flies down so that they can see her in front of the flaming building, and in as big a voice as she can says, "I am the almighty dragon! You will bow down and worship me!"
You don't have an intimidation score written down for her, do you?
-2.
She's
This teeny tiny dragon.
she's going to get like a +10 for all that, so
I
go ahead and roll it.
I am fire. I
I
am fire. I am death.
What is it?
You may want to...
Yeah, I'll re-roll that.
Good enough.
Do you want us to eat fate points? Can you do that?
I don't know. 14 plus minus 2 plus whatever plus is she gets.
14 plus 8.
Okay.
22.
22, and the DC is 10 plus charisma mod, so you got 15 there, and then whatever. Yeah, she scares the ever-living hell out. They're all like, fuck this. So
I'm
they
not getting paid enough to die for a cause I don't believe in.
So actually thinking that a tiny dragon has attacked them and killed so many of their kin, those three rush the gate, open it, and just start heading out. Where is everybody else at, by the way? Because
We're still back at the forested area. We still think that an ambush
Yeah.
is coming.
Crunk is standing in the middle, ready to
Lucy's,
assault them.
Lucy's in the woods.
The rangers are supposed to be in the woods, hiding.
Yeah, so we should move the rangers into the woods.
Hey, I'll do it as this.
What? That one? That's like an ogre from the top down.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Oh, okay, I
That's
see
one
now.
of the roll 20 ogre tokens that you can get. So yeah, these guys are going to go.
That is
You know what's funny is that the in the 3.5 monster manual, the image of the ogre and all the stats are on one page, but the image of the nymph is on the next. So it kind of looks like the ogre stats for a nymph.
So yeah.
it's one
Cool.
badass nymph.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Crunk and everybody sees those three booking it out of the fort in their direction.
Does it look like they're for a fight, or does running for their life?
They look like they are running for their lives.
Okay, can everyone just like sort of like comically like stand back and let them run?
Would Lucy have telepathic link with Theodora?
I don't think druids. No, druids don't have that. Only
Okay.
wizards do.
Never mind.
So like, are we still gonna kill them, or?
It's like they're terrible. They're running.
Well, the rangers all have their arrows knocked. They're just.
All right.
Crunk points his axe at him and says, "Ah, stupid orcs running!"
They see Crunk, they're like,
Run away! There's a big dragon in there!
Crunk just chuckles and steps out of the way.
so do you all let them pass?
I'm assuming so.
Yes.
I mean, we've already killed 17.
So,
20 down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gone. They up and leave. They're like, screw this! And the iron gates are just left wide open.
Theodora.
Crunk steps back in the middle and screams, "Run, Forrest, run!"
Don't you mean run through the forest? Get it?
Yeah, because they're in the forest.
Yeah.
Put her in a joke. Dick.
So,
Because they won't have any reference. They won't have any reference to what Forrest Gump is.
Thank you, I got that.
Okay.
Crunk is our Deadpool now.
Okay.
Which I gotta say, I think that Tumblr post that Tiffany shared on Facebook would make for an awesome X-Men movie with Deadpool in it.
Yep.
If you've all seen.
What's this?
You know that they're actually filming a Deadpool movie.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a Tumblr post where somebody was like, you know what would be awesome is for Deadpool to star in a future X-Men film. Which would mean that he would have to be in a PG-13 movie. And PG-13 movies are allowed only one F-bomb to be dropped. So he would spend the entire movie holding it in and waiting for the absolute perfect time to say it. But instead, Logan says it.
Right before the end.
breaks the one F-bomb rule, which sends Deadpool on a tantrum because he was like, I was saving that! Yeah.
That would be rather amusing, yes.
Yes. So yeah. The Rangers all come down to the clearing, watching them run away, and like, what just happened?
Theodore flies out, still shadowed.
Apparently, this is Leary. Apparently, Menendez climaxing must have done something.
We'll go with that.
Menendez is just walking up, still invisible.
It's like, so many of them died at once, and then 3 come just running out? What could have done that?
I scared them.
And they all just look at you, and Shay once again shrugs. I saw this one take control of a group of goblins before. I'm not surprised anymore.
She's just smiling.
So are we going in now? I mean,
Well, we took care of the initial force
because
outside.
I'll be honest, I didn't plan on getting this far.
I started it off. At least I didn't think it would get done that easily, but who am I to say that?
Okay, so I suppose we go in.
Alright, let me go ahead and remove that one. Alright, so you're all able to get in through that entrance.
Cool.
You just gotta...
Believe in yourself. Now, I can get Stanton, Leary, Shay, and Crunkin. And Menendez, because he's right there.
Menendez, the 27th, has come out of his invisibility, looks at Theodore and says, Dragon, I believe we will get along quite well.
Me too.
High five!
Yes.
High five.
You're like
Menendez
3, because you're like...
puts his hand up awkwardly.
Right, so...
Still smiling.
Jack is like, right, so... Any suggestions on how we continue from here? Do we all go in, swords drawn, arrows firing, or...
Before they walk through the gate, Menendez looks up at the fort and says, would they be able to fire on us from up there?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think the ogres would be able to climb up the ladders and even fit through the openings to get to those ramparts. So no.
First fly.
You said that the caves outside led to your dungeon area.
Yes.
Would the dungeon area lead up into the fort proper?
Yes.
So can't we still use the caves?
We could, as long as we do not agitate the lizards. They'll normally leave you alone, but we will be going through their nesting area. So they will be on guard.
During mating. But I got the bark.
Or
Perhaps, if they cannot reach the top, we could fly to the top and work our way down.
There is
Such
that.
they would not expect.
I prefer that. There's less water.
you'll have to forgive me, I didn't bring my climbing boots.
I can fly also.
You have a druid who's capable of turning into large creatures, some of them being able to fly.
Or, mages who can cast fly and clear everybody up.
That too.
Just saying.
No. Excuse me.
I'm pretty much also asking what your guys' plan is as far as the entire group goes, since there are, in fact, 3 NPC characters who will be fighting with you as well if you keep them in the party the entire way through.
Well, how many ogres did you initially expect? Was it just a little over 20? Because then we won't be expecting too many on the inside.
I don't want to give out that much player knowledge. Well, let me go ahead and tell you that you did clear out 17 ogres that were in this outside area alone.
Plus the 3.
Well, plus the 3 that decided to run away.
Alright. So we shouldn't expect anything crazy like that on the inside.
Or we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible to, as we're going through, use the bark to push the shock lizards into the fort?
Oh, if we set the bark in the right places and light them up, yeah, they will most definitely leave their tunnels and go inside the fort.
Does that mean that they would start harassing the ogres for us?
Yes.
I say that's an awesome idea.
That means going through the caves.
That would mean...
You have fun doing that.
That would mean at the very least they would get distracted, because after all, they're just simple shock lizards and...
I'm not expecting them to be... I'm not expecting them to be assault troops. I'm expecting them to at least be an asset to consider.
Cause mischief and mayhem.
So,
And I'm assuming that if they were hearing, that if someone on the outside was hearing a bunch of ogres attacking shock lizards, that they would be able to hear that on the outside.
through the stone walls, not really.
Shit.
But as we're going through, maybe.
I'm gonna see if we can hit them on 2 sides at once. Never split the party.
Set the bark in the right place and then come out and go through the top.
Perhaps the black arrows could make best use of the bark while we fly up to the top.
Alrighty.
I like that idea.
So the black arrows can push the shock lizards into the fort.
And
Alright.
at the same time, we're coming from the top down.
Alright? So the NPCs will go off in one direction and the PCs will go off in the other.
Yes.
Alright.
Bust an image, yay!
And Shay asks, which group do you want me to be a part of?
Well, after pushing the shock lizards into the fort, chances are the rangers are going to have to go in after them, and I'd rather you be backing them up. They'll probably need your help more.
Very well then. So they're all going to stay there.
Alright.
About how long should we wait to initiate this little plan of yours? Or will you be waiting for us?
I'm assuming that we're both going at the same time and really hoping on some lucky timing.
You do realize that it takes a few minutes for aroma to get around.
Then you'd best get started.
It will take us a few moments to get to the top, anyway.
Right, so they head off towards the secret tunnels.
If anything, we could probably wait a couple minutes for them to get situated.
Well, he has a point, considering either he has to do the carrying or the two of you have to do the carrying.
True.
So that's, well, she can't carry anybody else.
Even if she turns into a large flying creature.
Oh, well. Why Why waste the spell?
Alright, so they go off towards the secret tunnels.
So Minides casts fly onto himself. Carries Kronk up to the top.
I want to move you all towards the interior map, which will also have the top of those ramparts on it.
Okay. As he's carrying them up, he says, "You are a very big man."
Yes, he is.
Kronk believes you said that before about him. I agreed.
Luckily, Kronk's weight is just within Minides' ability to carry him.
Wall. Wall.
So, do I need to turn into a giant?
Nope.
You took. Oh, you did take everyone. Almost. Lucy and Theo are still missing, and it's all black.
That's because...
No, I see them down here.
But I don't see them.
Let me make sure...
Oh, he didn't move them up. He moved the PCs up and left you down with the NPCs.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Everyone's there on my screen. I just gotta make sure
Yeah,
everything's set up for...
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I might be in the dark on your guys's.
Yeah, let me go ahead and at least give 5 feet of light to everybody. Theodora having hers. Because you're dealing with... even though these ramparts are outside, you're not able to differentiate that. You're dealing with ogres who are dark vision beings, so they're not going to bother keeping lanterns lit inside the fort.
Are there windows?
So Kronk has light.
Stop moving to mommy.
So,
Everybody should have light now.
Alright.
At least 5 feet worth of light.
Minides pulls out another island stone, tosses it up, and he has 30-foot ring of light surrounding him.
Alright. Does it have a dim area, or is it just 30 clear feet?
30 clear feet, I believe. It's light spell, so it might have a dim area as well.
It does. It usually dims at the halfway point.
Those stones are handy.
Yes, they are.
So technically, you're all still outside, so you're able to see the courtyard and everything
Okay,
else.
so 20-foot
You just-
radius is
20.
lit. It's a normal light, and then another 20-foot is... no, just that 20-foot area.
So only
I
20.
guess we'd have 20-foot radius. Increases the light. Yeah, so we'd have 20-foot normal, 20-foot dim.
Alright, so I know exactly how to put this.
Hooray for learning how to play spellcasters.
There we go.
Isn't this also day?
Like I said, you can't.
Stormy.
It'll make sense once you get into the actual interior parts of it, but you're able to see out over the courtyard. You're just on an outer wall on top, so you're pretty much able to go from tower to tower to tower. So you have a door that leads to a tower behind Lucy, and up the pathway is another door to a second tower.
Is there... It looked like there were 3 towers in the
There
picture.
was the third tower would be up the other way, so you're
Okay.
able to see across towards that path.
That would have been the tower that he landed them on.
Okay. So let me Just do
Needs
this.
to be shifted again.
Oop.
I need to do some moving here. Then.
Oh my god! Now they don't exist.
They fell from the tower. Everybody's dead.
There.
There we go.
Theodore can fly.
So yeah, tower behind you, tower up ahead of you. And as the Rangers
place
stay...
them on the top of one of the towers.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Is the tower open?
No, it's not.
No. Okay.
It doesn't look like Krunk moved with us because he's moved off the board. I mean, I could see the light from his token, but it's...
Yeah, shit.
Technical difficulties.
The Krunk token just became lost. Hang on.
Krunk's dead.
Oh no.
Krunk couldn't fly.
There we go.
He tried flapping his wings. It didn't work.
There we go.
Look down and went,
There's the Krunk
Oh,
token.
Krunk.
that looks like another Stanton.
oh, that looks like another Menendez.
Oh my god, we're just cloning.
I
didn't know I cast mirror image yet.
I deleted I deleted those off my map, so they should have disappeared by now.
Oh, there's another Kronk.
But I can't get.
Oh, it's loading slowly for you.
Yeah.
That's why I can't get them.
It's
Give
that
it-
lighting.
Give it a second because I already moved them on there.
Alright, well that's loading. I will be right back.
There you go.
All right.
I should also mention that it's 5 minutes after 10, so do you all want to continue or stop here?
I think after killing 17 ogres, that's like a nice place to
Alright,
kind of
so,
leave it off on.
so we end with the party landing on top of the ramparts, getting ready to head down into the fort itself. Wow.
Yeah.
While the party of NPCs are planning to smoke out shocker lizards into the fort to cause a nice little distraction.
Yep. That's how we roll.
Yep, that's
Get it? How we roll? I know.
No, we
I should stop trying.
So, questions, comments, or anything before we close shop for tonight?
Good.
Alright. So next week we will be continuing our run into Fort Raddick and all the juicy little fun surprises held within.
Alright. So that sounds like a plan.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and end this recording and we can divvy out experience points for your 17 kills and 3 runaways. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
So long.